180 days is how long we have been living in this 36-foot RV, checking off the states, hiking mountains, and living the dream as most would expect. But if you're planning on hitting the road soon, keep watching because we want to share 5 bits of advice that might just help you prepare a bit better. Also, we just hit Mount Hood, Oregon, so you already know what that means. It's time to hit a trail. And today we are hiking the Tom, Dick, and Harry trail that leads you up to, what is it, the lake?
The Mirror Lake?
The Mirror Lake. And apparently it's beautiful. This was actually recommended from a few of our friends over on Instagram. Go stand by the tree for us to give us some scale. That is a massive tree. I mean, look at that.
I've seen bigger.
And we want to go ahead and dive into our first topic and our first bit of advice, which is expect delays, setbacks, challenges, and sucky campgrounds, honestly. And when I say delays, I mean things that are going to break traffic, all those things that you're going to have to take into account whenever you hit the road. And delays can come in the form of needing to repair stuff right as you're about to hit the road, as it happened to us. Our entire island just kind of fell apart right when we were about to hit the road, and it took us, what, about 2 hours to get it back on the road?
Yeah, that was a very sad day.
Yes.
But we did fix it, and it is working as it should be. It is now fully attached.
And challenges happen all the time. They happen to us almost on a weekly basis. And one of them was when I broke the back glass to the truck when we were trying to turn around, and honestly it was too tight of a turn. Oh, and imagine the first time you come into a campground that doesn't have full hookups. That's a challenge in itself.
Yeah, talk about the no full hookups. The recent campground that we stayed at, what was it called?
The Russian River, which highly do not recommend. It's a Thousand Trails location.
No hate to Thousand Trails in that specific location. However, it was a very big surprise to us when we found out that they did not have sewage. And we did not have a portable tank at the time. So it was just a very, very blindsiding surprise. We did order a portable water tank in order to
kind of get by.
It's not a water tank.
It's the portable tote for your waste bucket.
Yes.
Essentially, it's a portable waste bin. And yeah, it got us through a 2-week staying there. It was that, or go spend about another $1,000 to $1,200 at a hip camp or a supplemental stay somewhere else.
This close on, pulling the plug on that, but it's fine. $250 is better than $1,000, but
yep.
It's fine. But that just brings us to sucky campgrounds. You never know exactly what you're going to come across until you actually get there, and you just kind of have to be prepared. Now that we have the portable tank, we're fully prepared.
Yep.
So we're not going to be blindsided again. However, there are circumstances where water can be shut off accidentally, and it may be a few hours or a day before you get to see some water again.
Yep.
But so far they've been pretty good about getting that fixed out, getting maintenance to come out, and it's just really if they have to order a specific part to fix those pipes.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, you're going to experience setbacks, challenges, and sucky campgrounds. Just go ahead and get used to it. I think the thing that if we could do it all over again for the first 6 months was just do your research before you head on to the next campground. We just made a reservation and then was like, okay, we're good to go. So my advice would be also to do some research on the campground that you're going to go stay at beforehand. If it has the full hookups, the sewage, water, and electrical. And what electrical? Is it 50 amps, 30 amps, or 15 amps? So
as long as it's not a deal breaker.
Style grilled chicken, which is yours, and mine's been in here since like 8 months or so. Al pastor with cilantro and lime rice.
Is it expired?
I have no idea. So how is it?
It's really good. The spices is all hidden in the right spots.
And the second bit of advice I would have for you is that travel day can be exciting or it can be overwhelming all depending on how you look at it and how you prepare for it. I do have a video that I'll link up here that talks about how I get prepped for, or how we get prepped for the morning travel. But for me, I look forward to travel days, but I can also understand how it can be overwhelming, especially when you move every 2 weeks or sooner than that. It feels like a whirlwind, because you know, you wake up in new spots all the time and you want to make sure you get everything down pat, and you just know it's almost like a matter of time before something does go wrong. So I can totally understand how it can be overwhelming, but also it's hard to say, but if you can just shift your mindset towards just being excited for it because you get to see new places, new sights, sounds, smells, experiences, that's what I look forward to.
I play really good podcasts throughout the way that make
Murder casts is what it is.
Listen, if anybody has any good recommendations, y'all can jot them down, but I have a few quick ones. Dateline, obviously. Every now and then I'll do Crime Junkie. I love Anatomy of Murder. That one's a really good one. But here lately, I've been on my Dateline kick, and don't act like you don't get into it too.
Recently, I've gotten into it. These things smack when you're on trail. Still got a little bit of snow up here. That's supposed to be Mount Hood. So we walked all the way up here with a cloudy view of Mount Hood. How do you feel?
It's here.
Yeah, we may have to come back, who knows? This is it. This is what we came for.
Exactly what I asked for.
Now it's time to head back down. So that was one of the wettest hikes I've personally ever done. In typical Oregon fashion, of course. So how would you rate the hike?
As far as...
Just a trail. I mean, it was rainy today, okay? So weather.
I still think it was a beautiful trail.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It was definitely a beautiful trail. I'd love to come back, and we're actually thinking about coming back one day during the week before we get out of here. Maybe when it's not as wet and precipitous. Got here right in the nick of time as they were closing, so we were able to get some coffee on this wet, rainy day. All right, so let's see if any of this made it through the rainstorm, because I don't think this bag is necessarily waterproof, but it's pretty dry on the inside. It's a nice camera bag, and the GoPro has its own housing. And if you can see this, we attached it to the truck earlier as we were going on our hike today, and we knocked out a few gnats. So, and the third thing I want to talk to you guys about is traveling in an RV around the country has personally made me a more confident traveler overall. I think I feel more comfortable on the road, and this was before Jess and I got started, which was January of 2024 of this year. We've been on other vacations. We went to Puerto Rico, we've been to Italy, we've been on a cruise. We've had a lot of fun together, but at the same time, whenever I would take these trips, I would always personally be a little paranoid. I feel like I would always have to watch out for bad things happening, because you see it happen on the media all the time of tourists going somewhere and getting kidnapped, or tourists going over here and something bad happens to them. But rest assured, 6 months into this, I haven't had a bad experience. There's nothing really bad that's made me feel uncomfortable, unsafe, or made Jessica feel uncomfortable or unsafe. And honestly, we feel more safe on the road. I know this is gonna be funny to say, but we feel more safe on the road than we did back in our apartment back in Charlotte, North Carolina. That's a whole separate story. But that would be the third thing, is if you have that same issue or same worry or concern that living on the road is gonna be some sketchy deal for you, try to take my word for it from somebody who is paranoid about being on the road all the time, being away from your hometown, that it's not as bad as people make it out to be. That's gotta count for something. The fourth bit of advice is you're gonna go through phases in the RV life. Like, I feel like I've already been through like 10 phases in the first 6 months. Some of the phases I went through is pure excitement in the beginning, like absolute ecstatic for what's about to come. Second phase was like, okay, I'm calming down. I'm starting to realize, okay, you gotta empty out the tanks. There's a lot of work involved here. The third phase was like, man, did I really make the right decision? And honestly, you go through that and you just kind of got to stick it out. And that was we were in Arizona for about 35 days. And while it is an absolute wild place to be, because you have so many national parks within your reach, I think we got to see 3. It would have been 4 if the Grand Canyon was open, but we got to see 3 while we were there. And it was an absolute blast. But then I would just start to think, and I was like, man, like, 2 years of prep for this? Is this what it really was for? It was just to sit in an RV and just kind of hang out? And no, this is it. This is our life, you know? And after we moved and went to California and got to see some more places, I kind of perked back up. So just know that it does come in phases. And I would say that the phase that I'm currently in is preparing mentally that this is a long-term thing, especially in Jess and I's circumstances. Like, we work during the week, so we don't really get to go out and do much. I've talked about it in previous videos, and I haven't been shy about saying that we want to do this for a decade. So trying to get in that mindset of we're gonna see places, we're gonna do things. We may not do them as fast as we want to do it and see everything, but just coming to terms with that and coming to peace with that, because what if we were able to do it the way we wanted to do it? What if we were able to go out and see the world in a year? Like, then what after that? What's next? You know, what does that bring next? And so I think I'm coming to peace knowing that each place that we go to 2 weeks at a time, we're gonna be able to see more of that place.
So I would like to place an order. I was actually wondering, is your orange chicken sesame chicken?
I just believe rainy days is a perfect day to get Chinese egg rolls, sesame chicken, and fried rice. Even though this place we're going to only has like something called orange chicken I've never heard of before, so we're gonna try it out. But my next bit of advice for you guys, which would be, I think is number 4, is get good at FaceTiming and connecting with your friends and family back home, because you are gonna miss them. And the way that Jess and I have been mitigating that is, like, one of my friends back home, I will just set up a monthly or every other month FaceTime with them to let them know what's going on, see what's going on in their life, and keep in touch, because you don't want to lose the friendships back home. Because when you're on the road, believe it or not everybody's super interested in the things that you got going on in your life. Yeah, you're traveling, you're having new experiences, but that doesn't equate to people being interested automatically into what you do.
So like Trace said, FaceTime calls with all of our friends and families. I check in with my parents pretty much every week just to make sure that they know that I am alive, that we're doing well. I check in with my friends that we have back home. We try to schedule FaceTime calls a lot so that we can get some face-on-face action so that I can see how everyone is doing and we're able to catch up. Being on the road has really helped me to just realize that effort goes both ways. I want to continue to pour in effort into all of the friendships and relationships that I have back home. It's been super important to me to continue to maintain those friendships and relationships. It was something that I was truly worried about, but it's really shown me that it's possible. It doesn't matter how far away you are, it just takes effort. So one of the things that we can really just say is FaceTime calls. Make even if you don't want to show your face, especially me. Sometimes I want to look ugly in peace at home. I'll just a quick phone call goes a really long way.
They give it to us in a box. Number 6. I think we're on number 6, and it's our favorite states and why. I believe this will help you guys in the fact that there are just some states that are okay. I believe you should still see as much as you can, but I want to give you, we've only seen 4 states, so it's not like we've seen the entire United States so far. But my favorite state so far would probably be, of course, Arizona, and so far Oregon, but that includes Arizona, Texas, California, and Oregon. Texas is up there. Big Bend is really hard to beat. California is nice, don't get me wrong, but California is very expensive. There's another video I can link up here or here that kind of explains the cost behind it, and just prepare budget-wise. But Jess, what would be your favorite state so far? Did I catch you in the middle of something?
Excuse me. My favorite states would have to be Arizona, Utah, and Oregon so far. Texas was great, but it's not necessarily my favorite. California, the only thing that I really enjoyed from California that we got to see was Yosemite. And Death Valley. Death Valley was great too, but like you said, just too expensive. Palm Springs was great. It was beautiful. Like, I could see myself living there. But Yeah.
Not with those gas prices.
Um,
And if you're out there on the road this summer, be safe, enjoy yourself, and if you need more RV living vids in your future and on your feed, go ahead and give a subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bells, and we will see you in the next adventure as we go tackle the Pacific Northwest Oregon coast for the first time ever. Peace, much love, and we'll see you in the next one.